Prep here in Arlington, Texas. A very elite program, and we have a young coach here, Coach Duke. Thank you, first of all, for your time.
Thank you guys for being here.
So the first question I like to ask all of our guests is, Coach, tell me a little bit about your past, and when did you know you wanted to be a coach?
Well, I went to Grace Prep. I'm a Grace Prep alum. Started here in first grade, so it was kind of a lifer, and so Grace Prep is a big part of my family as well as my past. I went to Abilene Christian University, graduated from there in 2014, and then immediately started coaching. I started off at Fort Worth Christian School in North Richland Hills.
Okay.
I was there for 6 years, and now I'm here for my first year.
Awesome. Yeah. So now let's pull the curtains back just a little bit on the cost of coaching, because a lot of guys are like, let's coach, and again they see the wins, they see wow, you're at Grace Prep, but they don't see the time, they don't see you have a young family, they don't see all the stuff that it actually costs to actually coach.
Sure. Well, it's something that I feel like if it's not a calling on your life, that it's going to cost you more. And it definitely does cost me some things as well, but I just feel like that's what the Lord had for me and has for me right now, and I feel grounded in that. I have an unbelievable support system here at Grace Prep, unbelievable assistants, unbelievable administration that I get to work with. Those assistants help. They make the program go. I might be the head of it, and that's fine. My name can be on it, but people here know how much my assistants. How much they work, how much they love kids, how much they love basketball. And you can see that. We had a kid in here this morning at 6:30 shooting. We had an assistant open it up. I didn't know anything about it. Nothing.
Wow.
And so it's those things that just really make Grace Prep and make programs like Grace Prep kind of a cut above or special, if that makes sense.
Right.
You mentioned I have a young family. This week we only play Friday, and so the first question my wife asked me on Sunday night when we were talking about our schedule was, well, who are you scouting on Tuesday? Wow. So she knows, and there was a team that I went to scout on Tuesday because I had an open date, and you don't get a lot of them. I know with COVID you get a little bit more of them because you just don't know. Yeah. But in a normal year you don't get a lot of open dates like that, and so even that she's thinking that way, it supports me so much knowing that my wife and my kids love what I do. They love the kids that I love here at Grace, and so that's a really big part of it as well.
You mentioned Grace Prep and how special it is.
Yeah.
For those who may not know, you've been living under a rock. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the past, some of the players you played with in the program when you were here?
Yeah. So I was able to witness Grace Prep go. They've gone a bunch of different ways, if that makes sense. It was originally a small school that was started by a bunch of families that were homeschooling their kids that wanted their kids to kind of have a school experience and to be able to play sports. That's kind of how it originated in 1992. And then the first head coach they had, Chris Hall. Chris Hall's an assistant at Martin High School right now in Arlington. Yeah. He's one of like my coaching Mount Rushmore guys. I mean, he's solid. We had lunch at Bobby V's 3 weeks ago. Still keep in contact. But he was kind of who got basketball started here. Big deal. Grace Prep's only had 5 coaches since 1992 when it started.
Yeah.
And so 29 years. There's been 5 coaches here, and including me. 5 including me. And so thinking about Coach Hall and Chris and what he started here, we were really, really good, but we were just a little bit on the smaller scale, if that makes sense. Yeah. Coach Ray Forsett was here. He was Coach Hall's assistant. He went to Grace Prep. Coach Forsett took over in 2008 when I was a junior in high school, and the stage got a little bit bigger. Yeah. We had talent coming in from the area. The way that the school works, the model of the school really, really fit those kids. Mm-hmm. And so I played with Isaiah Austin. I played with Emmanuel Moutier, Jalon Hornbeek, Jamal Branch, Jordan Mickey, Kavar Shepard. Just to name a few of the guys. Yeah, just to name a few of the guys that have come through. And what it, I could shoot it, and that's about it. But I could shoot it, and so it allowed me the opportunity to play with those guys and have an experience I would have had nowhere else.
Wow.
Nowhere else. Isaiah Austin is playing overseas right now. Anytime that he's here, he's in the gym, training our kids, coaching our kids. If he would not have gone back overseas, he would have been on my staff. Wow. We're that close still to this day. My son Sawyer, his son Zeke, they're very close in age. We go to each other's birthday parties, the whole deal. I mean, it's a family affair here at Grace.
Wow.
Emmanuel Moutier, right now he's not signed with a team, still kind of looking and surveying the landscape for him, but he's up here every day, Monday through Friday, training.
Wow.
And our kids get to go see that. They get to watch, that's an NBA player.
Right.
That is an NBA caliber player that went to school here. His number's retired in the rafters. They see it every day. But the fact that he's here on campus, and our kids will jump into drills with him. We had summer runs up here, and we had 5, 6, 7, 8 NBA guys up here. And my kids are texting me like, do you know who's in our gym right now? And I'm like, yeah, I do know who's in the gym. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. You can't lose sight of that.
Yeah.
That it's special. Not every gym just has guys popping in and out all the time that are Division I players, NBA players, overseas players, whatever level of professional basketball they might be playing.
Absolutely. That is huge. Okay, Coach, so now let's kind of, we talked about the Grace Prep difference.
Yeah.
Now tell me, what does a kid need to have? 3 things a kid needs to have to actually play for you.
Yeah. Well, the first thing, and it's probably cliche, but is grades. We're a university model school. Our kids they're on campus 7th through 12th is on campus 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
They bring satellite work home with them every day. There is something that they produce to teachers every other day. So Monday you sit in class, it's college style. You're going to get something to do on Tuesday. You're going to produce that to them Wednesday. If it's not done on the due date, it's a 0. And there's really just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The second thing, and we harp on this, day after day. We could have the most talent in the gym. We could have the most talent in the practice, most talent in the locker room, whatever it is. If we don't love each other, and if we're not, one of our themes this year is stronger together. That's kind of like the athletic department theme, stronger together. These times that we're living in right now, if we're not together in what we're doing, we're going to have a lot of detractors. And we're going to have people wanting to do their own thing and this and that. And so we say it. That's how I break every huddle. It's together. We want to be together in whatever we're doing. We want 5 guys on the floor that have the same goal and mission in mind.
Wow.
And so, that's a big number 2 for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing I would say is a willingness to be coachable. We have a lot of guys here that are really, really talented. I mean, very, very talented players. And the one thing that I will commend our guys with is that, they don't like it a whole lot when we stop practice and we start coaching and it's this and this and this, but they know to go where we want to go, you have to be coachable. You have to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much talent you have. At a place like this, there is a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent. And sometimes that separator can be, who's going to look me in the eyes and say, yes, sir, after we've done something. Right? After me or one of my assistants has corrected them, we have an observation that we're gonna tell them, whatever it is, the correction might be. A lot of times it'll be, in the beginning of the year, it was, well, and then it was this, and they might have a good reason. They probably we probably messed up. I tell them all the time. I mess up just as much as you do, if not more. But what we've grown at is being on the same page of just wanting to get better. Right? And if 5 guys are running a bad play, it's a whole lot better than 3 guys running this and 2 guys doing that and whatever it is. We have to be together. We have to be coachable. And I think those are the 3 things that when you look at a program, the talent will a lot of times be, it's very apparent. Anybody can walk in the gym and go, okay, that team is talented, just on a layup line. If you're a coach, you can walk in and go, okay, right? But over the course of a game, right, one, the grades part, well, you can't play if your grades aren't good. So I mean, you just take care of it right there, right? The second is, are they together in what they're doing, right? Is there a common goal? Is there a common mission? Do they look like they've bought in to what the staff has them doing, right? And then the third thing is, how coachable are they? Because everybody makes mistakes in games. The best teams make mistakes in games. But if you're not coachable to what either another player might have to say in a respectful tone or what another coach has to say, it's going to be very apparent that you just kind of want to do your own thing.
I'm going to phrase this, and I don't like phrasing it like this, but I have a point to why I'm phrasing it like this. You're a younger coach. Yep. I don't like using that because you're a coach.
Right.
It doesn't. Well, why do you have to say I'm younger, right? But you're a younger coach.
Yep.
How is it managing the kids and social media aspect where everything's look at me? Are you on a mixtape, or where's your mixtape, or where's my mixtape?
Sure.
How is it managing the kids, and does your age help you relate better?
Well, I think it does. I think that there is a certain factor of, sometimes when you look at coaching staffs, you look at the head coach, and then you kind of think, well, what does their staff look like?
Yeah.
And I've been very intentional about making sure that my staff kind of hits every angle, hits every point. I've got 2 guys on my staff that are ex-head coaches in Texas.
Wow.
And they're older guys, and they give me a perspective that I don't have. And then I've got 2 younger guys. Both of them have playing experience. One of them played at Texas A&M, Derek Rowland. And he's got college basketball and professional overseas basketball experience that I can't give our guys, right? So I've been very intentional about making sure that our staff reflects not only what the school looks like, but also what we how we hope to set our kids up in the future, right? And so that's really the first thing that I look at, and I think my age does help me relate to them better. I do think it's a different game than it was 10 to 15 years ago, even 20 years ago for sure. It's just a different game, and in the way you're recruited. I'm on my kids all the time. The kids that want to go play at the next level, update your Twitter. Have your huddle highlights in your Twitter account. Make sure your full name is your Twitter. All of those things that make it easier for coaches to find you. But then the other thing that I always have my kids do is, when they start feeling like, when they come and tell me, hey, I kind of want to do this at the next level. I think that's what I want to do. Well, then we start a whole process of, give me 5 colleges from each level, right? And then I'm going to go contact those guys for you. And here's what I need from you. I need this. Which full game film do you want to send them? Because, you can look at a highlight film and every kid's got one, right? But the second that you say, well, I'm going to send you full game film, I think that kind of is a separator. And it's what college recruiters are looking for. They're not looking. So to kind of frame that for our kids, I think that I have a pretty good way of doing that, and being younger helps me out for sure. But like I said, the amount of experience that my staff has apart from me is just, they have connections I don't have. They compliment me so well. The kids love kind of the ebb and the flow of that. And we've got guys that don't know how to work Twitter on my staff, and then you've got younger guys on staff that are telling me, hey, he's kind of talking crazy, you might want to, right? And so that is where I feel like our kids just feel very confident in what they're getting at Grace Prep, the product of what they're getting.
Wow, really that's awesome. That balance that you guys have together, right. Being able to play it both ways. What is it? A tweet? What
yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Tweety bird? What is
yep, we got one of those.
Yep, yeah. So
we love them.
That's great. That's great. So kind of going in the same realm, grassroots.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's being overexposed? Because like you said, that's the last 15 years. It's just
taking off.
Like kids are playing. I've had some kids that are playing like 7 games in 5 days. It's just
with multiple teams.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what's your kind of stance on grassroots and your kids playing grassroots?
Man, I love it. It's when you talk about grassroots, AAU, and then you talk about high school, I never look at them as competing. I always look at them as the full product. To do my job well, one, I need to be active in my high school players' teams. Yes. What teams are they playing on? What do you think you're going to get out of it? Who's the coach? Maybe I know the guy. Maybe I know her. Whatever it is, right? And then 2 is that me and whoever whatever coach they're playing for, we're a team to propel them to the next level. It should never be well this and that and my high school coach doesn't think we're running this right or whatever. Like that's not my job. My job is here. Their job is there, and we have to partner as well together as possible so that those kids know that they have a full support system behind them. I want my kids playing all summer. Like we had a little bit of a slower practice yesterday, going around shooting. I was asking all my guys, "What are you doing this summer? Do you know yet? Are you going to tryouts? Is there somebody I need to call for you? What do you think you want to do?" And was having really healthy conversations about that. And I think when they know and their parents know that we're not competing for time, that we're making sure that they're just in the best basketball position possible, I think it makes everything go. And I think on the other side, those relationships that you build with the grassroots guys is instrumental, especially at a place like Grace Prep.
Yeah.
We don't have a school district. We're not a zone. We don't just get kids. Like, kids have to find their way here. And the more that I know those guys, the more that I'm active in what's going on. I'm showing up to their summer games. I'm making sure that I'm wearing some sort of Grace Prep apparel. Right. You know what I mean? I'm just making myself available to them and supporting our guys, because that's what it's about at the end of the day, is just supporting the guys that I have. And I feel like, when all of this first started, there was a lot of, well, he's mine, and then, in the fall, but he's mine in the summer, and we're tearing kids apart, and it's just not a good situation. And so I feel like, now I think high school coaches are seeing the value in what goes on in the summer, and just making sure it's not about the biggest stage. It's not about being on the best team. It's not about that. It's being on a team that's the right fit and situation for what you want to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I like what you said. It's at the end of the day, it's about the kids.
100%.
At the end of the day, it's about the kids.
Yep.
The programs, all that's flashy,
right.
Great, but it's about the kids.
The right
fit.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's your perspective on that. That's awesome. So just to kind of wrap it up, Coach, just wanted to see. I know you have a young son.
That's right.
And it's I'm way early on this one.
Right.
But I ask a lot of my coaches selfishly this question, because I have small children as well.
Sure.
Are you going to be coaching your son?
Yes.
Okay. And is he going to be treated like everyone else?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, growing up, I played AAU basketball and select baseball, and my dad was my coach in both of them. We grew very close from that relationship, and it's a different relationship that a lot of kids don't get. My dad was a college athlete, so he had a little bit of a different perspective as well, and that's something that I want to have those memories with my son. Wow. I want to have those memories coaching him. I want to have those memories watching him grow as a player. And now, all that to say, he's probably going to need another voice. Yeah. Right? Because it can be a lot. And so that's one thing that I will be sensitive to, especially, if I'm assuming I'm still going to be coaching whenever he's getting into junior high and high school, right. And that's going to be a given that he's going to be with me wherever I'm at, right? And so he's going to hear that voice 7th through 12th. But no, we talk about it a lot. We'll be in the driveway shooting, and we're lowering the goal and letting him do it, or upstairs in our game room, we've got 2 little Tice goals set up on both sides, and he's running down pretending he's players from Grace Prep. It's awesome. But I'm looking forward to those days. They're going to be really fun.
And he's
really
3, right?
He's 3,
right? And he's already got the.
Oh yeah, we got it. The shooting form is down. He knows where to put his hand. I mean, there's some things you have to get.
The form already.
There's no bad habits. We can't have bad habits. So my wife will make fun of me. She's like, "Can you just let him do whatever it is?" And I'm like, I'm not trying to be overbearing, but let's just do it right. Okay, let's do it the right way. Right. So no, but he's great. He's great. Yeah.
Well, Coach Duke, I want to again thank you for your time.